So Justin Timberlake is still in the middle of a lot of controversies following his DUI arrest, which I believe was earlier this year. And it appears that he's been going through some private health struggles. He recently posted on Instagram to tell his following about that. He says he's been diagnosed with Lyme disease, and this is a reason why he's been struggling on tour. He said, as many of you know, I am a pretty private person, but as I'm reflecting on the tour, I want to tell you what's been going on with me. Among other things, I've been battling with health issues and was diagnosed with Lyme disease, which I don't say so you feel bad for me, but to shed some light on what I've been up against behind the scenes. If you've experienced this disease or know someone who has, then you're aware living with this can be relentlessly debilitating, both mentally and physically. When I first got the diagnosis, I was shocked, but at least I could understand why I would be on stage in a massive amount of nerve pain or feeling crazy fatigue or sickness. I was faced with a personal decision: stop touring or keep going and figure it out. I decided that the joy performing brings me far outweighs the fleeting stress my body was feeling. I'm glad I kept going. Not only did I prove my mental tenacity to myself, but I now have so many moments with all of you that I'll never forget. I was reluctant to talk about this because I was raised to keep something like this to yourself, but I'm trying to be more transparent about my struggles so that they aren't misinterpreted. Sharing all of this with the hope that we can find a way to be more connected.
Yeah, I don't know about that last part. I don't know what being connected has to do with it.
And I'd like to do my part to help others experiencing this disease too. So in the interest of Lyme disease awareness.
I mean, I feel like it would actually be kind of terrifying if like you had a normal amount of energy and it was normally not a problem, and then suddenly you're performing and it's not like his age is so advanced where it should be noticeable that suddenly he's tired all the time. So I imagine that was pretty weird for him.
We have a 20 from Pop Culture Junkie. There is an excruciatingly difficult scene to watch in Terry Gilliam's 1985 film Brazil, where Katherine Helmlin's gets her face stretched in a procedure that accurately predicts what people are doing to their faces today.
That's depressing.
Interesting.
Yes, I'm sure people were feeling much like saying "Cry Me a River" to him.
Yeah,
but
unsurprisingly, there was not much sympathy offered to Justin Timberlake after his announcement of this diagnosis. And it actually comes in a long line of celebrities who have spoken out publicly about getting diagnosed with Lyme disease or self-diagnosing themselves with Lyme disease. That is a real phenomenon, and it seems like celebrities suffer from this disease more often than the rest of the population. And you have to wonder, why is it that celebrities more often have Lyme disease, lupus, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, these other
it's never lupus.
Nebulous diseases that have very difficult to ascertain diagnostic criteria, and there's really no way to prove or disprove that you have it. It's very difficult to get a diagnosis in the first place.
Not having symptoms is one of the symptoms.
Right. Brain fog, general tiredness. These are pretty easy to self-diagnose.
Whenever I use those as an excuse not to come to work, I get yelled at.
Yeah, and my assumption is that celebrities, because they tend toward the narcissistic traits, are more likely to be hypochondriacs and are more likely to be searching for ways to victimize themselves.
He's an outdoors guy. He likes to hike. He likes to camp, right? So is that where
I'm not saying I believe Justin Timberlake is faking Lyme disease, but I do think celebrities are more likely to fake diseases like that because of their psychological profile. Thank you, guys. Yeah, he wrote a whole album, I believe, about going on a camping trip with his wife and doing shrooms together. So I believe he is an outdoorsman who probably could have caught this disease. I'm not saying he's lying about it, but I found this list of a bunch of celebrities who have talked about getting diagnosed with Lyme disease, including Avril Lavigne. She revealed that in 2015 that she had been bedridden for 5 months due to Lyme disease, which she contracted the year prior. Her advocacy has helped raise awareness about the condition because, you know, there can never be enough awareness, right? Justin Bieber also opened up about having Lyme disease in 2020, which left him feeling fatigued and suffering from mental health issues. There's also infamously Yolanda Hadid, one of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, who has been an outspoken advocate. And she was diagnosed in 2012, has written about her experience with Lyme disease. And her daughter, supermodel Bella Hadid, has also revealed Lyme disease has taken a toll on her body, affecting her passion for horseback riding.
I will say, okay.
But there's also Shania Twain, Alec Baldwin, Amy Schumer, Kelly Osbourne, and just countless others if you go down the list.
If you're somebody like Justin Timberlake or anyone, especially or Avril Lavigne or anyone that's a musician, which requires you to have a lot of energy and be upbeat on stage when you're performing, if even when you're tired, right? If you haven't slept very much, your body will overcompensate when you're on stage because adrenaline kicks in and your body compensates for the fact that you haven't slept, right? Now that might throw your timing off or make your performance less good sometimes. And this is assuming they're not pharmaceutically altering themselves, right? But the idea that he's in his mid 40s and he's just sluggish and not able to keep time, and it's got nothing to do with age because again, he's not that old. That would actually probably be a pretty terrifying thing to imagine being through, and then later finding out that it's something else. But most of the time when you hear this stuff, the average person's just, they're not going to have any sympathy for you. It
right.
sucks, but they're not going to have any sympathy for you.
Right.
But I can empathize, I guess, a little bit.
That's why one of the top responses to the Justin Timberlake announcement was famous people are obsessed with having Lyme disease.
Yeah.
It's their favorite thing. And lupus is another one that's popular. In fact, I'll look this up, but Selena Gomez is probably the most famous celebrity that has talked about having lupus. In fact, her fans will blame any of her behavior on lupus. She has a speaking voice that is totally unrecognizable from how she used to sound. Mm. And they say it's because of lupus affecting her vocal cords. I'm not a medical expert. I don't know if that's a side effect of lupus or the medications for it, but she definitely seems like she's on drugs all the time.
Yeah.
Nick Cannon also claims to have dealt with lupus since 2012, and there are tons of other celebrities who have lupus. And, I'm not trying to sound unsympathetic. I'm not trying to discredit their claims. They could all be telling the truth. I'm just saying celebrities would be more likely than anyone in society to use these diagnoses for their own personal victimhood narratives and in a way to get some sympathy from people who ordinarily wouldn't think they have any struggles.
It's like that scene in Wayne's World when he says, "For one time I thought I had mono for an entire year. Turns out I was just really bored."
Yeah. I also don't really know if there's a consensus on the existence of chronic Lyme because that's contested as well. My dad told me that he had Lyme disease as a kid and was sick for a month and just recovered. So I know Lyme disease is a real disease, but some people say chronic Lyme is actually the fake disease.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to call back to this infamous podcast clip of two women talking about their experience with Lyme and how it gives them spiritual powers. Unlike the rest of us, they are tapped into another astral plane because they are diagnosed with Lyme disease.
Here we go.
I worked with a medical intuitive, and she said every time she sees someone with Lyme, it's an intergalactic substance, and it's literally bringing in codes from the beginning of time.
Yes.
I know.
I believe this. This gives me chills down my entire body.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I haven't heard it in those exact words before, but I'm often trying to say the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Lyme is a gift.
Yes, yes.
It is not for the faint of heart.
No.
And it is for the most deeply spiritual people on the planet.
Yes.
It's like a bizarro Alex Clark, the opposite of Alex Clark, the evil Alex Clark.
I would say that actually women who are attracted to the crunchy online space are more likely to have self-diagnosed with autoimmune disorders?
Yes, well,
You might not assume that at first, but it's true.
does it give you a superpower like they're saying here? It's a superpower, basically.
Lyme is an intergalactic superpower. These ticks are actually gifting them
Also,
with, a bunch of magical powers.
can somebody tell me
I worked with a medical intuitive, and she said,
what the hell a medical intuitive is?
Probably someone who should be in jail for impersonating a doctor.
My guess is that there's no licensing needed to be a medical intuitive.
Right, like a life coach. You can basically pretend to be an expert on anything and call yourself a coach, and you can skirt through the liabilities. But yeah, the ticks are actually trying to help us when they infect us with Lyme disease.
My favorite thing about stories like this is like the thing is like you could be in line at Target next to this woman and you would never know that she's insane.
Yeah.
They walk amongst us.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.